Okay, today we are going into Leadership Education 2, and we're going to be starting to go over Lesson 1, and basically on this Communication, Awareness, and Leadership, we're going to go straight through Chapter 1 and 2 in the next few weeks, which will culminate in a joyful thing for all of you. You will learn how to write effectively and speak effectively. So how do you think, what kind of project do you think I can have for you to write effectively? Well, what can I do for you? Yes, sir.
An essay.
An essay? You ever do that before in your whole life in high school?
Yes.
Probably so. So I'm not going to copy paste from somebody else. What about your future? When you go interview for a job, what kind of writing do you have to do for a job, to get a job?
An interview.
A resume, yes. So I'm going to make everybody who's taken actually it's my military studies class and my leadership class and the AS, everyone's going to be doing a resume before the end of this quarter. And it's going to be a good one because I will not let you do a miserable one. And this will be written and submitted online. That's the end of Chapter 2. Everybody open up their books there to the introduction there for the contents. Roman numeral 3. That's a good question. That's a good question. How many people here know what Roman numerals are? Let's have a little test. That would be great. What is, that's good. All right. So, who here has never heard of Roman numerals? Okay, we're not Rome, right? We're English. So if we sit here and we have something like that, what does that mean? One, yes. And I had a cadet in another class say, sure, I know him because of the Super Bowl, right? All right. So then, if I go boom, boom, what is that?
3.
Great. What if I go like that? What's that? That's a Colonel Peebles trying to fool you, okay? That is not the number 4. What is that?
4.
That is 4.
Okay, we are cranking. We're smart now. What about this number right here? What is that? 10. So how do you write 9?
But a 1.
You're like that. What number is that?
11.
Oh, that's good. So then what about this?
9.
Ooh, we are really moving well. Okay, so let's say you are 22 years old, and I'm a Roman guy. I have a toga on, okay? And I want to write my age of 22. You go 10, 22, correct?
Yes.
So now, my question is, tricky. Let's say you are 42. How do you do 42?
With 4?
No.
With 4? So I go 42. Is that how the Romans do it?
No.
So I have 10, 20, 30. Do I go 42? Is that what the Super Bowl did?
No.
How do we do this? The guy said, Cadet Smith, how do you do this?
I don't know, say.
If we have 1, and we don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, we subtract from 5, what might you do to get 40? Subtract 10 from
50.
50. What is 50 in the Roman numerals?
12.
Ding, 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 ding. Give me a high five. Yay. So if I want to do 40, I actually do XL. That's equal to 40. Is that right?
Extra large.
Yes.
Extra long.
And so if I'm in the 42nd Super Bowl, you do XL, bink, bink. That's it. Okay? What about 90? How do we do 90?
XM.
M? What is 100?
C.
8.
C. So I'm 101. That's it.
Oh, I get it, like century C.
There you go. Like centime, which is your French penny, or century is 100, right?
Cent.
So a cent. And so if I'm 90, if my mother right this second is 95, she is XC.
V.
Ding, 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 ding. So now let's say that I saw I saw, my son and I watched a show last night on living forever. And the man lived to be 1,000 years old. It's a little sci-fi. But if you're 1,000 years old, what is your number?
Old. D. K.
D.
Your number comes, sir. Your number
What does
comes.
D equal? 500. M equals 1,000.
Emma was right.
Y'all really got me fired up. Now in leadership education, I can give you an extra credit on thing on Roman numerals. We'll only go up to M, okay? So if I want to write, I'm gonna party like it's 1999. How do I write 1999?
M.
M.
There's an M in there somewhere.
C.
That's what I got.
C.
There's an M.
C.
A 1.
C, M is equal to what?
1,100.
That's 900.
Yeah.
M would be 1,000.
Oh yeah.
Okay? And then you go X, C is 90,
It doesn't even look like real money.
right? And then 1X. 1,999.
That's crazy.
Is that wild?
Yeah.
Do you see why some very smart people just said, okay, that's it? So today, what year is today? 2013. So who is a smart kid here that's going to get extra credit on my LE test? I got to write that down. I have the extra credit. So what is the year in the Roman numerals right now?
MC
M,
2N.
M, 2000.
13.
It's 13.
X.
X and 3.
MMX.
Ding, 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 ding. All right. Don't tell me I didn't teach you anything.
That was killing.
Why do you need to know this?
That was right.
Well, for one thing, it's right here on your table of contents page, right? Another thing is if you go cruise around Europe, everything is labeled in Roman numerals, all the old buildings. Okay, so to review this next 4 weeks, let's go in here on the contents. Unit 1, learning to communicate. Lesson 1, lesson 2, learning to listen. We're going to have some projects here. We have some little Kagan cooperative learning, yes. And then over here, lesson 3, learning to think. So you're learning to think, listen, and communicate. And then we get to the fun lesson 2, which I just love, and I'm sure you guys do too. We talk about the basic checklist. We talk about writing effectively, and we talk about speaking effectively. Everyone here will be doing public speaking. Everyone here will be recorded. Everyone here will be publicly critiqued and given constructive criticism by your peers. And some of you older cadets know how to do this, but I'm going to do it a little more detailed this year. It'll be a lot of fun. And so you'll be giving your speech. So by the end of this quarter, you'll have a resume ready to go out and get a job as a teenager. You'll know how to write one future in your life, and you'll also know how to public speak somewhat. Yes, sir.
What if you already have a resume?
Well, great. You've already got an A on the writing effectively, but I bet I'll be able to give you a couple suggestions.
Should I just bring it in?
Well, when we get to lesson 2, what lesson 2 in chapter 2? Yes,
Yes, sir.
we'll go from there. A lot of you guys should have resumes if you've already interviewed for jobs. I promise you. Do anybody know what Waters Nursery is?
It's like a nursery for fish.
Waters Nursery? No, it's up here it's for plants. The Lane family owns it. Their 2 daughters were in our program. Actually, Mackenzie and Megan, as well as their 2 older siblings. We had 4 Lane cadets. Anyway, the dad, Ken Lane, came in here and talked, and he talked about interviewing you guys and hiring you guys for jobs. And he just flat said that if you walk up to me and have a resume, you're above everybody else, because teenagers don't walk in with resumes. You need to do that. And of course, he also said that his job was to sell plants. What kind of customers do you think go to this high-priced nursery?
Old ladies.
Florist.
Old ladies, that's exactly right. Older people. And do older people want to see tattoos of dragons coming around the ears and end up here on their chin?
No, sir.
And so he told him, he said, hey, if you have tattoos and piercings, I'm going to ask you to remove them. And if you choose not, then you're choosing not to work for my job. So if you come for a resume and you say, what is your hobby? playing videotapes or getting tattoos on weekends, how does that qualify you for a job in a nursery? And likewise, we've had quite a few. We've had probably 6 of our students whose families own tattoo parlors here. If you're trying to get a job in a tattoo parlor, what might want to be on your resume?
I like that.
You're a graphic designer, you care about tattoos, you've researched, you've gone to conventions. So you need to think about these when you design your resumes. Okay, learning to communicate. Overall, we talked about some of the chapter overview, how to communicate, listen, and think critically. This is quite important. Let's see, everybody pull out your piece of paper. We got 3 minutes. Have you ever had a situation? Look behind me on the content here. I want everybody to answer this question. Everybody needs a piece of paper. Remember I told you should have a book for this class. Maybe I should start grading you on your book. That would be great. Do not talk. Look behind me. Answer this question. You have 30 seconds, and then you'll share it with your shoulder partner at your table. All right, 3, 2, 1. You may talk. Talk to your shoulder partner. Talk about the situation.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Just trying to suggest what to do. I was like, you gonna talk about where you talking? They're just gonna talk about it. Like, there's like, I'm like, just gonna talk about like Norman. Step back and then talk for the rest of the time.
Okay, stop, please. Stop. Let's see who we can. Let me pick a number. Pick a student. Who's got number 45? All right, stand up here. You're Miss Public Speaker. You may come up here and talk about a situation there that could happen more.
Okay, so this one time I was hanging out with my friend and we were watching TV and I was talking to her and she just had this blank stare on her face. And I asked her if she was listening to me, and she said no. And I felt really unimportant, so I just stopped talking.
Does anybody ever happen to you? Good job. Who's 47? Oh my goodness. Oh, come on up, come on up, come on down. Number 47.
Harry. You're not Harry.
Okay, so I was at football practice and I was talking to somebody about the play and they ignored me, so I just like felt pretty left out, so I just walked away and asked someone else.
How did it make you feel?
Unimportant.
Unimportant. All right, good job. So, when we're talking about this, when people do not listen to you, everybody feels sort of unimportant, is what I'm hearing. That's not a good situation. Okay, yes, ma'am.
But okay, can I
Come on down if you want. Yes.
I just wanted to say, if you don't listen, sometimes you can get hurt, or other people get hurt.
If you don't listen, you can get hurt.
Yeah.
What about in a class when I tell you to prepare for a test and you're spaced out thinking about the movie last night? You don't? Yeah. I'm telling you guys, as a teacher, it's about 10%. If I have a class of 30 kids and I sit there and say, this is on the test, go study this. Tomorrow, 1 or 2 or 3 will say, sir, what was on the test? I mean, it happens. I swear it happens. You guys will take this test, and 2 or 3 of you guys will not do well. And I'll go, why didn't you? Well, I didn't understand the Bernoulli question was on the test. You've got to be kidding me. So I'm just saying, now I have it online. I have it, some people, do better reading stuff, so I have it online, and I have it on the website, and I tell you. So you're exactly right. It depends on how people, if you don't hear stuff, it could certainly hurt you. All right, communication process, bottom of page 7, right here on the display. We need to know what the sender is. What is a sender?
Person giving a message. Or code.
Exactly. Basically, what about a receiver?
Person receiving a message.
It's not that hard. The question is, if you look at this display they talk about the decoder, encoder, decoder, symbols, and messages. What is a decoder and an encoder? Yes, sir.
A decoder is somebody who takes an encoded message and makes it into a simpler form so they can understand what it says.
So you can understand it. Page 9. Go look at page 9, guys. Encoding is turning the message into symbols. When we talk about symbols, when you guys were writing down on your piece of paper, you were turning your message into symbols, right? And then you stood up in front of everybody and you verbalized it so that everybody could understand it. You can hold up your piece of paper, but you're not really communicating it to them. Channeling, a method of a medium of delivery. Give me some examples of channeling. Yes, sir.
Say you're trying to email somebody.
Email can be a channel. What else?
Facebook.
Facebook can be a channel. Another electronic channel. What else?
Instagram.
You can talk. What about non-electronic channels? Writing can be a channel.
Sending a letter.
Sign language can be a channel. That's excellent. Has anybody ever heard of nonverbal communications?
SOS or Morse code.
Morse code can be a channel.
Braille.
You know, one thing that really fascinates me is nonverbal communication.
Oh, silent like body signal.
How about this? Because y'all eventually, when I said channels, y'all eventually, with your generation, goes, oh, Facebook, Instagram, email, texting. But how long have humans been here on this world?
About
500 years?
Stone cave carving.
no longer than that. It's like
Millions. of years. How long have we had electricity?
A few hundred years.
100. 150 years, maybe. Okay. So what did we do for 1,000,000 years minus 150?
We wrote letters.
Smoke signal.
Fire. Carving.
How do we communicate?
Seashells.
How do we communicate?
Messaging.
Actually, we really communicated via. How long have dogs been around? Long time. How do dogs communicate?
They speak dog English.
They speak dog language, which is visual, which is visual, and it is body language that we do not understand. Except that, matter of fact, there was a cartoon that had the dogs talk to each other and go, "We've been with humans 1,000,000 years, and all they know is when we wag our tails, we're happy." Because they've been communicating the whole time, and we think we're so smart, but we don't have a clue about how they communicate body language-wise. And I'm telling you, humans communicate more body language-wise than verbally. It's a fact. It is a fact on how you do this. I'm just saying. And so when you're up here doing public speaking, which we will be, everybody will be right up here. Yes, you're going to be nervous, and yes, you're going to be talking and talking like this. But I'm going to teach you, and you're going to see it on the camera, of how you emphasize your point, or whether or not you raise your voice, or you talk real quiet so that everybody can hear me. If they talk real quiet, y'all get real quiet. But if you don't bring in the piece of paper Friday, everybody's going to be standing here and not doing anything, and everybody's going to be mad at you. And so you change your verbology, you change your volume, you change your emphasis to do this, and you will learn to communicate a lot different. So it's kind of, so the channeling portion can be verbally, or it can be non-verbally. What does this mean, guys? You know what's funny? Is when I was a kid, this was not nobody really would have known what that meant. This was not an example. The whole red circle with the red line through it was European. It was invented in European, and eventually it came to America. In French, it means interdit, which means don't do it. But I'm just saying that those symbols weren't here when I was a kid. They invented them because they're international. And now anybody out of the world would be able to do that. Okay. Nonverbal communication. So we need to think about nonverbal communications. This is one of the things I want you to learn of how you are communicating your interest in someone who's trying to talk to you. Are you leaning forward, trying to talk to them and listen to what's going on? Or are you actually playing with a pencil, seeing how it's actually invented? Or you're spaced out, or you're not even looking at me, or you're playing with your fingers. I mean, these are all things that you're doing without even realizing to communicate different thoughts. So we will go through that. Okay, we will stop right here today. Room 10 Hut.